Hello guys, welcome to Street Trading Buddies daily forecast. Let's start by looking into gold here. Let's rejig a few things in here because there's some interesting price action on ES and Nasdaq. So it's better that we start by looking into gold first and then proceed to Nasdaq and ES. So here we go. So we were looking into these the past few days on the forecast. So this is Friday, and clearly you can see that the liquidity was taken and then came back down. Then one more time the liquidity was taken, but then it went back inside. And this is classic because this liquidity was of course taken here for this, um, and the market actually tanked here, which also took this particular liquidity on the sell side. And this was an inside candle on Wednesday, that is today, but of course now the H2 session actually started, right? So, and this is the H2 session, that is Thursday's candle, technically. Now, until the candle closes, you wouldn't really know whether this is breached yet or liquidity taken or whatever, but for me, it's pretty much equidistant here and here. So, what is closer? Obviously, for me, I think this is more likely to happen than anything else, especially given that it's on a trend there. Um, is it on the downside? But overall, if you see, these were the highs and came down, rattled back up into this fib area, and then it started to come down. Of course, we have seen all this crazy nonsense that happened, and then all the way down to the 4100s there, and then slowly started to kind of climb back up, and it's getting to a point where you can clearly see these inefficiencies and all were taken out. And the best thing to do here would be to look into the swing to swing, right? And understand that this area is your 62, right? So which means we need the market to actually get to this level and maybe do some magic here or go up. I mean, I'm not really saying whether the market would actually tank from here or go up. It all depends on the geopolitical craziness that's happening here. So, but if you look into this, it's very clear that there is this 62 levels on the fib, and that makes sense. So you have this 70 71s in here, which also makes sense. So um, for me, I'm still looking into the market to actually go up. The other way around is, of course, market to take this sell side in here. So take the sell side in here, take the sell side in here, fall all the way back into these inefficiencies one more time, but I don't think so. This is gold, and I'm not really betting on gold to actually come down. Yes, we've seen gold to come down a few times in here, but when gold come down, you can clearly sense it. It's like it just trashes you. So these are not coming down. These are like, on the way back up. It takes some liquidity and gains momentum, right? So this was free flowing, and you could clearly sense those because those days were pretty rampant, really. There's not much that we could do and see this craziness there. So when you compare with that, of course, that's not what is happening. I think it's steadily gaining momentum to go all the way back up, right? So for me, this buy side here makes sense, followed by this buy side there. So I'm not saying that market won't hang down. It's just that for me currently I don't see it. But if it has to, then obviously to close well below this, then take this out, and then we can think that okay, maybe momentarily there is a little bit of a correction that might happen, and maybe get to these levels, right? So that's on gold for now. On 4 hours, let me just remove these. I just I just need a little bit more clarity now. So I just removed all the drawings there, so that's fine. So that's on, and now this is on 4 hours. So on the 4 hours, there's again a lot happening. So so as I was telling, that's 62. So that's where we are, at least on the 4 hours thing. So and this is 1 hours. So it's pretty good. You'll see what happens, but that's about it on gold really. And this sell side taken also is a good sign. And for me, all these are like on the 1 hour. You can clearly see that this all trend line liquidity. At least the least that you can really expect would be for the market to get to this buy side and hopefully I would say to these levels. So this swing to swing, and that's the 62. See, so I really want to see the market actually go to that level, but if it doesn't, then look for opportunities downside, but we'll see. That's about GC, and let's get back to ES. And you see ES actually, so let's see on the daily level. I don't want to take away the excitement of that particular huge wick on the 1 hour, but let me just start with the daily. On the daily, you can clearly see that on Friday, it really hit the all-time highs there and followed by an inside candle on the Monday. And Tuesday, it almost hit those all-time highs back again and then came back down, but didn't really breach the sell side on the daily level here. So sell side on the daily level, new week opening gap, which is marked here. So market has been just trending around in between these new week opening gaps there. So that's exactly what is happening. That's on the daily level. Now you take this. This is Wednesday. That is today. That happened, and this is the Asia session, right? So now on the 4 hours, again, that's what I'm trying to say that the market has been ranging, and the range has been between this new week opening gap to this new week opening gap there. Nothing much happening. So whoever can trade the ranges, of course they can. Uh, Now, this is the most interesting thing that I'm actually looking into, and that's 50% there and that's 50% of the wick. And if you look into the 1 hour, it's more clearer there. Um, we took the 50% of this particular wick because there's a high chance that the market would get down to this 50% of this level, and then we can decide what else can be done. Until then, there's not much to do. So it's been the interesting market, especially in the Asia session. You don't really see this kind of craziness unless there is something that happened there. So, which I'm not really sure. So, what's happening? So that's on ES. And quickly, let's get to Nasdaq. So Nasdaq has been interesting one more time actually. So today, ES didn't really breach the all-time highs, but Nasdaq did. So Nasdaq, so this was Friday, Monday inside, Tuesday almost inside, just that the wick actually took liquidity there and then came down, but it didn't really take this level. So if you can see, this is my alert. So I was thinking that the market would just breach to this level and then go down, but no, it didn't do that. And then Wednesday, you can see the market from nowhere went all the way back up, and we had a 1.68% day, so it's a huge day, huge. So Monday, Tuesday, nothing happened, but this Wednesday, craziness as 1.68. I didn't get a trade today at all, so I missed this price action. But again, this is Thursday, Asia session, and so the Asia session is doing okay, but except for this candle there, why it was, I'm not really sure. but it did hit into these inefficiency levels and the fair value gaps, and also um, this inefficiency level, so and get to this particular order block. So that was a very good wick, really. So just a little bit of correction there, and then go back to all-time highs, maybe. uh, that's the expectation that people have. So we'll have to wait and watch on the market to really show the trend there. Now, on on um, on CL. CL is in a pretty interesting zone, especially there's a lot happening there. So CL, you see, this was the all-time highs, but of course, market really corrected a lot there since then, and then there's descending channels and all the way back down during the weekend. Then it came back up, new week opening gap, and the market is trending back up again. CL trending back up again is definitely not a good sign, and whatever happened here happened. So we were looking into the ES and NASDAQ and the week there, and this, for heaven's sake, whatever it is that happened, I'm not really sure on this. But again, it's the same mantra that you have for anything. So if you have a huge wick there, the best thing to do is just take 50% of it, and that should that should really give you what you want. Okay, that's cool. So that's 50%. So we'll have to see what happens here on the CL. I'm not really sure of what happened really. Um, but this wick here to the upside and that wick there on NASDAQ to the downside, they all make sense now. So this reaching the 50% or this going down. So if CL goes down, then obviously the market actually will go up. So that's pretty interesting uh, thing to watch out for. So we'll see. So that's about it, really. It's we had to discuss on a gold a little bit there, and of course Nasdaq and is long wicks there, and something's happening. But so be careful, keep a stop loss, and if it's not needed, don't trade, right? So if you don't really see the opportunity, then please do not trade. That's it. Thank you. Have a great day.